Howdy ho, Stampers. This is Deb Valder. Welcome back to my studio. I'm going to show you another sneak peek in the 2015 holiday catalog. This one right here is a bundle, and it comes with the framelits and the stamp set. So the stamp set is called Jingle All the Way, and it has some really cute, adorable pieces in it. I have one here in wood mount, and then it also comes with 3 framelits called Sleigh Ride Edgelets, and let me just show you what they look like. This is the one with the trees. This is the one with the sled and the horse, and then this is the house, the one that I used on my card. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how to do this whole little card right here. Let's start with the background because we need to let that dry. So I'm just going to take a scrap piece of paper, and because it does get a little messy, but if you're doing these in bulk, what I want you to do is to do all of your watercolor paper first, and then you're going to take and let those dry, and then you can come back, and while those are drying, you can work on your edgelets. So I need one of my aqua painters and with water in it, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take and this just has water in it, and I'm just going to wet this almost all the way to the bottom, but you don't have to go all the way to the bottom. Then I'm going to bring in my re-inker. This is my Night of Navy re-inker, and I'm just going to pick up some re-inker and just slather it on. And if you just don't think about it, I know it's going to look kind of funny to start with, but you want to go dark on top, light on the bottom. But when it dries, it's going to look beautiful. Now sometimes I'll take a Kleenex and just blot it to give it a little bit of character, just like that. And it just gives it some shading and shadowing, and it just makes it look really pretty. Now I'm going to set this off, that's how fast it is really. I'm going to set this off to the side to let it dry, and in the meantime I do have one that I finished early on. And that's so that we could finish this video and go eat dinner. Okay? So the next thing that I'm going to do, here's one that I've gotten and it dried. And this is on watercolor paper. It works much better on watercolor paper. The next thing that I need to do is to cut my little framelit. Now this one I did this one I did with the little horse and the sled. Isn't that cute? But I'm going to show you how to do, since I already have one with the houses, I do have one with the sled. I'm going to show you how I cut it, and this is going to be done with the trees because I haven't done them. Remember, here are the 3 framelits. There's the horse, there's the houses, and I'm just going to show you what the trees look like, and we can even color those in green if we want to. So you're going to take your Big Shot and sitting on something. Here we go. We're going to take our Big Shot and put down our plastic plate. Then I'm going to take my piece of cardstock, which I just misplaced. Here it is. I'm going to take my cardstock. I'm going to lay it down. Now you want to be very, very careful. If you lay them this way, you want to make sure that they're within the boundaries of the plates, because otherwise if you have them hanging off, it's going to end up bending your plate, and you don't want to do that. Or you can put them sideways like I like to do. That way there you know you're not going to bend anything. Decide where you want that to go, where you want your trees to go, and we're going to run it through our Big Shot. Put your clear plastic plate over the top. These are just run through just like normal framelits. Okay, and then just run it through there, and I'll show you what it looks like. When we take this off, we're going to take this off just like that, and the bottom piece is the piece that we want. Okay, so here we are with, and then I'm just going to grab my little pokey thing and poke out our little trees. Okay, so those are what the trees look like. Let me show you again. This is what the horse and, actually you could do these all together, just like this, or like this, and then add it to our piece. And it could be a nice snowy night. So anyway, I'm just going to take it and I'm going to show you how to put these all together. I think I'll use this one, and The first thing we need to do is to get some embossing powder going along with our Versamark. So I'm going to take my Versamark, and what I'm going to do is start on my stars. So take my Versamark, take the little stars. There are so many little pieces inside this stamp set. It's adorable. So I'm just going to do a couple of white stars first. Maybe put one down here. And let's put this on so we don't get any embossing powder on. So what I'm doing is I'm starting with my white embossing powder. Throw this on here. Remember, I always put on, these things right here, that's rice. I always put it in there to keep the embossing powder to stay dry. It lasts longer if you, embossing powder does go dry, but it does last longer if you put just a few pieces of rice in there to keep it dry. It's kind of like putting your cell phone, when you get your cell phone all in water, and they tell you to put it in a baggie with rice. Same thing with your embossing powder. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to take my heat gun and heat up my white stars. Now we're going to take and do some gold ones. So I'm going to bring back in my Versamark and just do a couple of gold ones. And maybe one right there. Alright, I'll bring in my gold embossing powder. Put the top back on here so that we don't get any powder on there. And just add our gold. Now on this one, this particular one, I actually did the Silent Night, but I'm going to do something a little bit different on this one. Alrighty, so we're going to take that and set it over here. And let's heat this one up. Okay, the next thing I need to do is to take, I'm going to use, like I said, I'm going to use the sleigh on this one. And I'm going to use the Night of Navy. Remember, with our stamp pads, because they're, you know, the foam mounted pads, we can actually use embossing powder with them. So for this one, I'm going to write Home for Holidays. Here I did Silent Night. For this one, with the little sleigh ride, I'm going to take and use Home for the Holidays. So just stamp that on there. Let's get our clear embossing powder. Throw on my clear embossing powder and then heat this one. Okay, so here's that. Now we didn't have to emboss this, but I just think that's embossing on your Christmas cards is just so elegant. And you know me, I like elegant cards. So there we have all of our embossed pieces. And now I'm just going to start putting it together. Do you see how pretty that is? Oh my goodness, that is just absolutely gorgeous. So let's get out our silicone mat and start putting our pieces together. So I'm going to put this one aside for just a moment. I'm going to get out my card base and my piece that's underneath it. Now what I'm going to do is I need some blue circles. So I'm going to get my punch, because you know me, I never ever ever put anything down without saving some paper. So now what I'm going to do is grab my fast fuse, throw it into just the spots that have no holes punched out of it, and then lay that on here like this. I need those circles for another card that I'm working on for Christmas, and they'll work out good for this card. Alright, then I'm just going to take and put my fast fuse here, Now because the card curls a little bit because we've used water with it, I do use a fast fuse more than I would if I was just doing a normal card. So with the Night of Navy underneath, I'm going to pop this on here like that. You're almost done. You see how fast this card went together? It really isn't bad. Like I said, if you take and you do all of your backgrounds, and while they're drying, you can take and you can do your little cut pieces right here, and they don't take very long. You saw that. And then after these dry, you can do your oh, isn't that pretty? Look at that. That is just so pretty. Okay, so here we have two of our cards, and they came out absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Home for the Holidays, Silent Night, easy, easy cards. Don't think that they're hard because they do look hard, but they're not. But you see how different the backgrounds are? Just very, very pretty. If you have any questions, let me know. Hop on over to my blog, and I'll show you the one done with the tree. If you have any questions, like I said, let me know. Take care and have a great day.